traumatic and horrible thing and you're in denial, why me, I've lived a good life, I've done nothing wrong, it's not fair, you finally kind of then start to accept it and then learn to fight it. Martin Mason, on the bike I'm known as Marty, originally from the UK but here in Sydney is my home. What was the other question? Age.
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 I
hate to admit it, but close to 52.
Oh man.
The words that you hear, sorry but you've got cancer, are the ones that nobody wants to hear, because I guess the first thing that people think when those words are said is that it's a death sentence. When you have a drama or a trauma or anything like that in your life where it starts to bring perspective on things. Certainly for me, it was not necessarily a wake-up call because I was always a pretty active person, but it did push me to embrace and not waste any minute of the day. And so, being involved in sport, social, friends, activities is really important, and trying to cram everything in. Maybe I try and cram too much in, but but trying to cram as much as I possibly can in is absolutely the way forward for me. So cycling is a big part of my life now, and things like diving activities, anything that's kind of got a little bit of interest and there's a little bit of an edge to it is something that that I love. And certainly the diving side, as we saw this afternoon, not only is it kind of a cool, fun thing to do, but there's a serenity about it as well. There's something about being at one with nature and having an exclusive view of the world that other people don't get to see. That's kind of a cool thing. So Tour de Cure, I got heavily involved with that primarily because it's a cancer charity. I was in my first year of remission with it. I got inspired to get involved in cycling through reading Lance Armstrong's book. I met a guy, introduced me to the whole thing, and it just made sense to me. Cycling and going out and doing something to create awareness and raise money for cancer just made complete sense. So we ride around Australia on our bikes and raise money and have a bit of fun doing it as well. Certainly the words "you've got cancer" is the words that nobody ever wants to hear when they go to the doctor, and probably one that you're least expecting, I think, as much as anything else. I was soon told by a specialist, which I saw later that day, that if you're going to get a cancer, that's the golden ticket of all cancers, because it's 90% curable now. 25 years ago it wasn't. Men were dying. For me, once I got over the initial shock, it was a matter of planning. It was a project. It was, okay, what am I up against? Let me understand it. I had to work out how I was going to beat it, what I was going to do to get through this particular, I guess, speed bump in my life. It's not just the victim that is in pain and going through some difficult periods as well. It's actually the family that is struggling as well, and struggling on a number of levels. Emotionally it's difficult for them. Emotionally it's as difficult for them, and probably more difficult than the patient. So the support of your family is absolutely crucial, and I was blessed and fortunate to have that. I'm kind of glad I got cancer as well. I think when you go through a drama and a crisis like that, and literally you feel your mortality, then those crises, when you get the kind of, I guess there's some perspective on them, and that perspective is, well, how bad can this crisis be? People that I've spoken to that have survived, especially that are involved in Tour de Cure, will say, before we're all pretty mixed up and we're caught up with the whole materialistic way of the Western world. We want to get ahead and we want to have stuff around us. what it has done for me is simplified it and made, you know, what's the important things, and it's cliche to say, you know, family, friends, all those kind of things, but it really does put those kind of things in perspective.